What topics will we discuss in this episode? The cryptocurrency markets are what I'll tell you about. Everyone is terrified of them. They saw some red yesterday. However, guess what? When we contacted you, we informed you that we informed you that we were going to be traveling to these levels. So where are we now? We are at these precise levels. People, don't worry. This is typical. They want you gone, and they will drive you insane and play with your own emotions. Keep an eye on everything, because they intend to draw this negative energy into you and take away your diversions. What occurs if they do that action? You play the game of selling and they drive you out of the markets. We've discussed this, and the song and dance have been the same since 2017, but it's just a different year. The amusing part is that you might recall the XRP chart from here. Where do we go? We even continue to flirt in these ranges, dropping as low as 64K. If we're searching for an invalidation of this, we need to return to the charts and re-examine the situation from a fresh viewpoint. Bitcoin must drop below $60,000. I don't think it will occur. I don't see Bitcoin falling below $60,000. Instead, we may reach $644,000. Yes, some would respond. Well, we have a wick down to 56. Good luck trying to close that. Wick? Those wicks don't count to get back up. You really don't need a cross tap goal. We've seen that in the cryptocurrency space roughly 3 years ago. Bitcoin saw a sharp decline, falling back to $10,000. Find me one who's catching that. Wick, please? Whoever it was that caught Wick, nobody is safe on his channel. We make use of sensible figures. What's going to happen in the future? I'll let you know what transpires. We have a bit more consolidation ahead of us. But for now, 74K is the most crucial figure you need to consider when looking at prices. Ethereum's price of $663.64 has decreased by 1.16% in the last 24 hours to $3,549, while Bitcoin has increased by 1.02% to reach its highest XRP peg. And guess what? It's a mean lean 48 cents. Yes, all the blood, all the terror, all the market turmoil, with XRP maintaining the precise range we have been discussing on this channel for months, at least a few months. And you guys believed I was insane? I'm not deranged. I think I'm pretty smart. Check out the cryptocurrency market cap of $2 trillion to $450 billion Drake, who gambled on the NBA Finals. And the NHL Finals is going to lose $1 million in Bitcoins. He selected the Mavericks and the Oilers, both of which are in peril. That's terrible. $1 million in Bitcoin to be awful, isn't it? This is the article concerning the Ethereum spot ETF, because there have been speculations circulating that it would launch on July 2nd if the SEC rejects Ethereum's ETF. This might lead to a 60% surge. Eric BAC Chun's, this is something I recall, gentlemen, as, this is the individual who was allow me to check his profile. How far away was he? That would be him. The Bloomberg employee, someone commented on when XRP received the Delaware and BlackRock ETF files, and this person answered by claiming to have spoken with a BlackRock representative. He says update because that's who he is. We are pushing forward the deadline for the July 2nd launch of a spot ETF after learning that staff members had submitted relatively light comments and issues on S1s, not much more than asking to have them return in a week. If they have a chance to work, they work to be deemed effective, and things continue into, say, the upcoming week or so. About 2 weeks from now, an Ethereum ETF is expected to be released. What impact will this have on Ethereum's price? Perhaps a slight increase. I doubt anything unusual will happen, but this suggests institutions will invest more in cryptocurrency. It's possible that some won't want to invest in Bitcoin. ETFs. Come on, let's acquire some cryptocurrency. We believe these other cryptocurrencies have more money and have more clients interested in them. We're going to see some new money out there, and Ethereum might be one of them. Enter these Ethereum ETF markets, 7 to 10 trillion in the market for cryptocurrencies by 2025, I believe. So, and see folks, big money is starting to pour into cryptocurrency right now, though it's early as you can see. It's too late for us to stop what occurs. After all, the large money leaves the banks and enters cryptocurrency. We received an update since they're going to immediately raise these costs. What are we to make of the James King filing on the Ripple SEC government and their response to Ripple's letter on Terraform Lab's consent judgment? According to the judge, Ripple may have been required to pay a fine of $13 million. It is insignificant. People are about to end this litigation. Only a few days ago, I completed a video that was mentioned there by Brad Garlinghouse, who said he believed this would end in the middle of Q3 or early Q4. I believe his precise timing I can't remember. He claimed that 65,000 Bitcoin pledges are expected by September as The we go sour, all coins lose 10 to 20% of their value with just one glance. We've already covered over $1,000. Are you concerned? I'm not concerned. People have a look at these purchase opportunities. Cardano sure looks beat up in your 30s. You might even start collecting cardamom crazy OFAC that's going to bomb. Yeah, people in chain. That's going to cost more than $100. The connection will soon expire. 100. What are you doing with those two straightforward 10x's, 15x's, or even 20x's? This is my chance to prove that I'm competent. What do you think of me backing up the old truck, Andre? Al says to pay attention to the details. David Schwartz said at Apex 2024. I'll paraphrase him. The one unfavorable surprise I've seen is the sluggish adoption of blockchain technology for payments. Enterprise adoption, on the other hand, has been really decent though. The type of retail and user acceptance for payments have been pretty slow. That's what Ripple has been concentrating on, and I think the product market fit feels fantastic. The final mile is the issue. Since 2017, the last mile has become an issue. I had a lot of ideas when I entered this area. However, what ought to be highlighted, this is what David says at this point, that is Ripple's primary focus is on enterprise adoption, which has been positive for blockchain. He states clearly there is a lot of adoption, or a lot of partners that we do not know about, a lot of N. I believe he was talking about retail payments when he expressed displeasure a while back about how slowly blockchain payments have been adopted. Since Ripple is primarily concerned with business-to-business transactions, it is important to keep in mind that the CEO of Uphold recently mentioned that some significant businesses are using XRP. He was unable to name specific companies due to NDA's restrictions, but we still want to see Ripple adopted by businesses and enterprises because that is where the big money is. It is occurring, it is declining. Uphold went on to say that many of these businesses are using on-demand liquidity, also known as XRP, to transfer money internationally. This is the kind of adoption that we hope to see when considering our option for the general public. It is as sluggish as, it's all right. Ander adds, that's correct. We're receiving the Bazino business ads. To be honest, this suggests that liquidity is not the failure that many people believe. He should have simply realized that others would take this and run with it. That's precisely what I think. To be honest, when David makes statements, it almost feels like you have to piece the puzzle together because we don't really know what he's talking about. However, then I hear about the XRP ledger's current state. This will be saved for the upcoming video, genuinely people. But Smoke added this. He claims he feels it's worth a translation, but has anyone translated this Russian document? Look, it mentions gold commodities and stock markets, payment systems and commodities that support the value of the Russian currency system. It also mentions Ripple, a firm that is emphasized as having substantial IMF reliance. That's intriguing. This document is available? Yes, it's unclear to us what it actually says. We must decipher what we observe. However, we note that Ripple is brought up here, and we go on to this, can observe the unit system used in Russia. Therefore, something's cooking. How does the unit work? It instructs us to execute the diagram that we just saw, shows how the system works, its main component, or IAS, and it looks like an inverted triangle with connected nodes. The incorporated's interconnected structure depicts a network ecosystem where these components interact with one another through the unit system. Custodian at the top, fiat on both sides, commodities and stock markets on the right, payment system on the left, and gold at the bottom. When we look at the table, examine the list of participants, foundational, reliance on the IMF. The audience's attention, it's noteworthy that Ripple is present despite substantial US rules that are entirely dependent on fiat currency. They target central banks and banks with a concentration on banking services. So we have a new Russian system that indicates that Ripple is involved in this and that the IMF is reliant on, and that will be backed by gold people. Where's this going? There are a lot of things happening. But ultimately, the question is, how many NDAs exist? And if any, what are the people doing behind those NDAs? Do they make use of it? When will they leave live? What they've combined? And who's all involved in this? Recall the times in 2017 and 2019. When Brad was touring the country with Christine Lagarde at the IMF recall, remember all that? I did wonder, What does it all mean? When Brad was making his remarks, his news releases his meetings, and sitting in front of all the world's most prominent bankers with Abyss Augusta Carstens in front, in the center, glaring him down, and Brad getting grilled by everyone else.